Okay, many of y'all might not know this, but YouTube actually has an inspiration tab um, for aspiring content creators to give them ideas for the next video. And let me tell you, I thought this was a silly idea until I saw new videos to inspire you. And the second one is Nurse had a crush on me? Uh, with 260,000 views in 3 days, which wild. That is wild to me. Who is watching this? So, obviously, if that can get 260,000 views in 3 days, then YouTube knows what people are looking for. And I'm going to attempt to give that to y'all. Starting off with short stories, and I have the perfect bite-sized story for you. Uh, there was this STEM After Dark program once, and that's basically where a bunch of nerds come together and build really cool stuff and let people mess around with it. So they had glow in the dark chess, some painting thing, but what I'm going to talk about is racing robot cars. It was like the coolest thing ever. And so I did it twice. Uh, I raced against the same person 2 times. I will never see that person again. But they were pretty cool. And so we we get up there, and the announcers who are commentating all the robot races notice that I am wearing the Spider-Man plus I had Spider-Man as a pajama shirt and Lilo and Stitch as a pajama pants, and he called me the Drip Master, and it was so much fun, even though I lost miserably the first round. But I got my revenge at basically the very last race. We had a rematch, and I kicked this man badly, and so not only did I win, I was also the Drip Master. Now, funny school stories, I will probably do some other time. The Reddit one I will do later, so stick around for that. But let's go to more stuff. Okay. Funny story time Roblox. Now, I'm not actually gonna go play Roblox right now while telling this story. I'm just gonna tell a story from Roblox, and it's one of my favorites. I was playing this game Flicker with another person y'all may have heard of, Anna Grace Plays. I was playing with them, and they were a character in the game called Melody, and so I was the evil guy, and she had figured out that I was the evil guy. And so it was just me, her, and some random person. And I flooded the chat with Melody has die in her name. And so she must be the evil one. And they ended up getting voted out. And so I won the game. And I thought that was really funny. Next up, customer story time. Okay, so I see customer story time. I'm a little confused because normally the story time comes from the perspective of the fast food worker, but this one says customer story time, and so I could totally do that. Um, so I went to Disney World recently, and I got this sick looking fan. It looks so cool. It's from the Japan section of Epcot, and there's this giant store that's air conditioned and everything. I don't remember what it was called. It will capture the attention of any weeb in your group, and they will stay there the entire day. So be very careful. But anyways, I tend to pride myself on not spending much, and so uh, the fan is in fact the only thing I bought, and it was this really nice Japanese lady who was like, "Would you like me to put your name on the fan?" And so I did, and that all wiped off, sadly. But I still have the fan, and it looks sick. And she was really sweet. And that's my customer story time. And so we will be doing the Reddit part last. So next up, I'm actually going to combine these two, fantasy books and ASMR reading, because I bet you didn't know this, but I do in fact have a pretty good ASMR voice. And I have the perfect fantasy book to read to y'all today. Okay. It's a very little known story called Goodnight Moon. In the great green room there was a telephone and a red balloon, and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house and a young mouse, and a comb and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and a red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, "Hush." Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. So I would like to say good night to all of you little noises out there. No. And so there's that. Those 2 are covered now. I'm not a booktube channel. I won't be doing that one. I don't read. I've never read manga. I'm honestly confused on what manga experience even means. Things I learned from school. Way too much to put into a segment, yet still not enough. College success. Congrats. Somebody had college. They want college success. You're not getting that. Okay, and finally, Reddit stories story time. Funny Reddit stories hashtag shorts. So how about we combine all 3 of these? Reddit stories story time, funny school stories, and Reddit funny stories hashtag shorts. This will not be a hashtag shorts, but it'll be fine. We are here at the cursed website. Funny stories. School stories. Funny school stories. This is exactly what I want. Okay. Let's get in our ASMR reading voice again. I remember one day some kid was making fun of me, and the teacher told him to write an apology note. He gave me a note that said, "I'm not sorry." It's not even the funny part. The funny part is that the teacher called him out for not knowing how to spell sorry. Lol. Let's put this by top. That was just a 1. This community doesn't have any posts yet? Huh. Okay. What is this? The war? That's a long story. What is this? Okay. I guess we're gonna read this funny school story. Why is it showing recent when I don't even have a Reddit account? Whatever. So school in Asia is kinda different. The most major thing was at noon. Basically, we ate lunch and got recess time depending on how fast you ate. One day my friends were like, "Yo, Lucas, wanna attend war? What do you keen by war?" basic explanation. Tag, but you play in teams. Have a name like continuously breaded, my team name. Trust me, in Vietnamese that name sounds a lot cooler. Capture your opponents to your base. Capture all of them, you win, but have to keep them down because they might break free. This sounds like the game, like, what is it called? Escape the Prison? I Whatever. Capture your opponent. No, I already read that. Me. Why though? Friends, you see we don't have enough players to attend, so please. Sad emoji? Sad pleading emoji? Me. Sure, always for a friend. Friends, let's go mess with Team Shadow, opponent's team. Me, sure, I walked in blindly, without knowing how aggressive this war game could get. Just a reminder, our school playground is made of rocks and cement. Remember that! We were just going at it, man, punching, kicking each other like damn. It got aggressive, and I'm actually class president, and I still did not lose my role after all of this. We eventually partnered up with Team Shadow to defeat Team Aegis, whatever. Even though they only had 3 players on their team, they were skilled. Even against 2 teams, they still pretty good, not gonna lie. But we did win most of the matches against them. Team Shadow wanted to test our skills after partnering up with them. But this is where it all happened. On Team Shadow, there's this sports guy in our class, like you know, the athletic one. After I catched him, he tried to escape at lightning speeds, and I boosted into the air. At this moment, both of us were basically flying whilst I was still trying to catch him. And I did, but I forgot that gravity existed, and we both landed on the concrete playground. This story is wild. My friend came to see how bad our injuries were. The injuries on me, a heavily scarred right knee. The injuries on my friend, a fraction of skin on right foot, torn off. We both got treatment and recovered, and that was when we all ended the war game. I think we need a minute to process this. Why is this called war? This is in Vietnam, apparently. They're punching each other. I'm still kind of confused. It's tag, but you play in teams. So you touch the person and they have to go to your base, but you're also punching and kicking each other. So, I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, this was wow. Well, that does it for checking out this stuff. Um, I hope y'all enjoyed because this is apparently what y'all are looking for. And above all else, just remember, folks, a nurse had a crush on me.